Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to fix a minor bug that we introduced into our application when we added the admin user functionality. So let's take a look at where this bug is. Okay, so make sure that your server is on. And here's the app. I'll go to my recipes. Now, in the last lesson, we added the admin user functionality, which allowed us to basically log in, and then if I'm an admin user, then I get a delete recipe link over here and an ability to edit the recipe even if I'm not the creator of the recipe, right? And this works great. However, this delete recipe code, this is in the show recipes page. This delete recipes code is working because I'm a logged in user, okay? If I log out, and then if I go back to my recipe listing, click on the same link, then I see that I have an error, okay? This is saying I have an error, undefined method for admin for nil class, if current user.admin. That's because when I'm not logged in, the current user does not exist, okay? And this is some dangerous code to use if we're not careful. Now let's look at our app and let's look at our code and see where this is arising from. So that is happening in the show recipes page. So recipes show. And this is where we're doing this. If current user.admin. Now notice how this is a view template and we're not verifying that the user is logged in anywhere, right? We're doing this here, like if you look right above where we're showing the edit recipe link, if logged in and recipe chef current user or current user admin. So this works perfect. But here, there is no if logged in, which means that I'm not checking if the user is logged in, and then if I make a reference to current user, the current user doesn't exist, so that blows up, right? So to fix this, we're going to just do if logged in and current user.admin, then show the delete link, right? And you may be wondering, but we use this current user reference in other places without using if logged in. Let's say the recipes controller, for example, right? If we look at the recipes controller, if you see here, we seem to be using current user very easily without any if logged in. But notice how anytime we do that in the recipes controller, we have this require user that executes before we get to the current user. So anytime we have current user that we're referencing, we ensure that the require user before action executes before that, right? So we are basically ensuring that there is always a current user when we make a reference to current user in any of the actions of the recipes controller. Okay, now that we were not doing in the view. That's why we had to check first to see if the user is logged in. If their user is not logged in, that means it's just a user browsing in guest mode. Then this condition breaks right away. This part doesn't execute and this link doesn't show. Okay, and then the remaining code executes, right? So we need this break over here to check if the user is logged in. So now let's go ahead and try that again. If I reload this page, notice how this works now, right? So that's something we need to be very careful of whenever we make a reference to current user to ensure that a logged in user is available, okay? That a current user is always available by checking for logged in. All right, now let's go ahead and commit our code. So we'll do git status. Git add -a, git commit -m, modify show recipes to fix bug. Okay, git push origin master to push our code to GitHub. Okay, now git push Heroku master. Now this time, after we push our code, we don't have to run a Heroku run rake db migrate because we didn't make any updates to any of our tables. We just made an update to the view. Sometimes a deploy can take a couple of minutes. We just have to be patient with it, unfortunately. Okay, perfect. So our deploy is complete. Let's test out our app in Heroku. I'm going to reload this page. Okay. Now notice how I'm not logged in. Now if I click on the link, okay, so the show recipes is working correctly. It's not giving me the error. And then I'll just log in as a user, an admin, to make sure that that still works. Okay, perfect. So that's what I wanted to cover in this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.